What's up, good everybody? We're here back at you with another rant video. I know it's been a while since I've done it. I wanted to come to talk today about Streaming University. Now, as of this recording, it's currently going on right now. I've seen a few clips rummaging around. We'll talk about that shortly. But I do kind of want to go into Streaming University from its start till it is now. Now, I'm sure there'll be some other stuff that'll come up that I might have something to say about. But right now, we're gonna just kind of go through it. So, first part, the streamers that were picked. Now, Streaming University has always been for the little guy. Okay, so for it to be for the little guy, that would require giving streamers who don't really have that much of a platform, a time to shine, right? Now, I'm not stupid. Obviously, I know for a fact that even if you took the teachers and all the other big names out of it, you're still going to want to have some type of big names for some recognition, right? I can acknowledge that. What I can acknowledge is the fact that if he had said, oh, I'm just putting up streamers who I think should be here, it'd be different. But he made this for small streamers, right? So that's one thing that I do have issue with Kai for. But when I look through all the streamers, I expected to see, some big names, but not too many. Bird Baby, that's somebody who as far as I'm aware, he's only been streaming kind of recently. So it makes sense for him. Like he has a presence. That's cool. Some of the names that were fine. I would expect a lot of people to have about 10,000 max followers, right? Or at least when it comes to viewers, 10,000 max, right? But that's like on the very high end. I expect that more from teachers and everything, but I'm sure some students are like that. Why are we giving niggas who have over 1 million followers and put them under as students? Like, that shit never made any sense to me. Like I said, a lot of the names I'm not familiar with, but I checked throughout that entire stream. I checked their accounts just to see like what they were at, how much they had, and there were people who genuinely had no viewers, or they barely had any numbers. Those type of, like, even my numbers, if you look at my numbers, those are the type of streams I want to see, right? But we're getting people whose like numbers are super high. Like we were getting FaZe Clan members in Streaming University. We know who they are. They might not have like a lot of people or whatever, but we know who they are. Why are those niggas there? That's what I want to know, right? So there's that. Also, Kai took so long to even show those names. Like, dude, we don't need a drum roll, please. Fun fact before we get started. Just give us the names. I know you're trying to make it like an NFL draft. Just give us the names, move on. But anyway, that was essentially the only thing I had an issue with. I didn't realize that Streaming University would be so quick to start. So this is going to lead into part 2 right now. So part 2 of people making their own stream review. Now, this was sort of before things kind of got underway. This was like kind of people's reactions. Now, I was watching people have their reactions to Streaming University, and like a lot of people were like, oh man, there's not a lot of Hispanics and all that. So like, how can it be that there's like not a lot of Hispanics? There's only like mostly black people. Because Kai is fucking black. Of course he's gonna have a lot more black people on his shit. I would be shocked if less than 50% wasn't black. Let's just be real, right? But then you've got people talking about, I'm gonna make my own stream with you because we got snuffed out. Aren't y'all the same niggas that be like, oh my gosh, my nigga, oh my gosh, I'm a Hispanic nigga? Aren't y'all the same people that be doing that? It's so crazy how people will hate on black people, but then want to be a part of every conversation, of every event related to black people. We saw that with DreamCon. I mean, I'm not gonna talk about DreamCon because that would be a separate video in and of itself. But people did that shit with DreamCon, and people trying to like slander DreamCon. And keep in mind, you guys remember, y'all have black fatigue, but all of a sudden we want to be a part of Streaming U, right? Okay, cool. But let me know how the Mexican, or Hispanic rather, and Asian Streaming U is going. Tell me how that goes. But this rant like there was a lot with the other 2 points, but this part 3 of the rant, I'll try to make it quick, but I might have a lot to say. It kind of depends. This one irks me. Okay. Now I've been watching only a couple clips, as far as I'm aware, right? Because like I said, I've only seen clips. Ludwig and Agents classes are like the only good ones. At least when it comes to what Streamer U is about, right? About, you know, trying to raise up like the small guys, right? Trying to, you know, give them like a piece of the big time, right? So with that, fair enough, right? You're gonna want to take the Ludwig classes, the Agent classes, where like you actually get hard numbers, hard facts, right? That's why I say it would be the best. I haven't seen every single class slash like club director thing, to be fair, as of this recording at least. But you know, like from what I've seen, that was the good one. But then like these streamers are throwing away these opportunities, right? Keep in mind, I imagine that this event is probably going to be the biggest that they'll ever get off of anything, right? Like we even saw with one Ludwig's clips, if you haven't seen it, he was even saying that the people from Streamer U last year, like almost all of them had single-digit viewers. Single-digit. Keep in mind, like not single-digit as in like they only had like less than 10 viewers. Like in terms of growth, they only single digits, not even double digits. Like this is what I'm talking about. It's literally just a, like especially last year, it was just a, hey, I'm gonna be around Kai. I'm gonna like clip farm or I'm gonna do whatever. And it was, and so literally, besides maybe a few outliers, a lot of the clips were just straight up, hey, you guys know these big streamers? Yeah, let's look at that. Let's clip these guys. But they never clip the little guys, which I know obviously it's not easy to do that. You're pretty much going to see the clips of the bigger guys. But even then, the fact that like nothing happened with the whole Streamer U shit, and it goes back into part 1 before about the types of streamers that you're picking, right? Once again, not saying that it's gonna always be all small streamers, because you sometimes do need the, you know, you need the faces, you need the people that people actually know, right? But it would actually benefit small streamers to only be around small streamers, right? Because think about it. If, let's say there's 100 small streamers who always get less than 10 viewers, right? And they lock in, you know, they do the schoolwork or whatever, they make the clips or whatever. They stand out a lot more and they could gain a lot more. So the fact that they're not even doing it, even with bigger people, which they could probably easily clip farm from that, just really says a lot. Like I remember I saw a clip of Ludwig talking to one of the students who did the homework, the only one who showed up to class and did the homework. And he said that she was going to appear in another big event that he was hosting. So he gave an incentive to the entire class. Hey, if you do this, I'll make sure that you get in this big thing that I have. And the niggas didn't even fucking do that. And you know what's crazy? A lot of the classes, or a lot of things that are being taught, like I know of, like, you know, having multiple platforms and all that good stuff. Like, and I'm doing that now. I'm, like I said, I'm not saying I'm consistent. If you're watching this on YouTube, I know I'm not consistent with that, and I do apologize to my YouTube audience if I have any. Right? But like, this is what I'm talking about. Is like, once again, wasted potential, wasted opportunity and shit. And I'm really tired of it. Now, like, would I have made this video if I got into Streamer U? Yes, I still would. Right? Because I don't, the money don't change me. Maybe, I don't know. But anyway. Look, all I'm gonna say is we're gonna keep watching, or y'all are gonna keep watching Streamer U. I'm not watching. I'm watching it through clips, if anything. We're gonna see. Maybe it'll be a little bit different. I will say this to kind of end things off. I do like some of the things that have been happening in Streamer U. It's just there's just so much stuff that's bad, and then so much more stuff that's more unfortunate, that the things that do happen to be good about it kind of gets overseeded. But we'll see what happens. What the fuck? Okay, that was weird. Anyway, I am gonna head out. That was a quick little rant. I might chop this up on TikTok. We'll have to see. Anyway, that being said, thank you to the people who watched. Thanks to the people who didn't watch, and I'll catch y'all when I catch y'all.